Good morning, everybody. I am just sitting down a little bit late here. There's a lot going on today, trying to stay on our schedule, our routine, which I think that like today is like incredibly important. Now, we've talked about it in the past. Maintaining a routine is both important and incredibly hard at the moment. A lot of us might feel like there's no reason to, right? We can just wake up whenever we want and go about our lives. There's nothing incredibly important. But I think the reason to maintain a routine, mental health, your own physical health, and as we talked about, when talking about that Gail Saltz interview, is that when you have good mental health, you also have good immunity. So, I think that it's got to take more of a holistic approach now more than ever. We have to be good to ourselves, and that is, you know, doing what you need to do for yourself. That's maintaining a good routine, keeping up your healthy habits, doing the stuff that's incredibly important for you to be healthy. And I mean, look, we don't want to be going crazy in the house. We can only watch so much Netflix. We can only watch so much news. We can only do so much vegetating. It's going to have a negative impact. So, making sure we're exercising our minds and our bodies is incredibly important. Today, I woke up and I had a brisket that I prepared yesterday morning. Let it sit with some seasoning on it and got it all rubbed up and sat in the fridge. Took up an entire shelf in our fridge for a day, which was kind of a pain in the butt because there's not a whole lot of spare room in our fridge at the moment. And Yeah, just got that thing on the smoker at about 8:30 today. I'm following a new recipe. So I had a recipe that I was following uh, from the internet that says you have to smoke it at 225 and it goes for a long time. I have this book that I bought a long time ago that sat on my bookshelf for a while, and they have a brisket recipe in here where they recommend their own rub, of course, and their own barbecue sauce. And we were cleaning off our bookshelf, and I thought, well, you know what? Let's crack it open and see what they recommend. So the temperature is higher on the brisket. They recommend 300, and they give you steps. What you have to do. For the first hour, you let it go. You mop it with some apple juice, and you let it go for another 3 hours. There's a whole process to it, wrapping it in foil and all that other good stuff. So I'm going to try to be doing. I am going to follow that recipe rather than my own that I found on the internet that was 225 and went for a lot much longer time. Where before I would have had to start this thing last night and let it go for almost 20 hours. Now this one's going to take about 8 to 10. So we'll see. It should be a good dinner. But the thing is this brisket's like 16 or 17 pounds, and I'll carve it up tonight and have brisket for tonight, which ironically St. Patty's Day, right? Perfect timing. Um, and I think that's why it was on sale. I'm guessing, so it was good. I got it pretty cheap. But so I have 16 pounds of meat at under $3 a pound, and I'm gonna divide it up. I'll cut off part of it to make burnt ends, and then I'm gonna cut off the flat, and we'll eat some for dinner tonight. We're gonna make some potatoes tonight, and then we're gonna freeze a lot of it so we can have it down the road, and not go crazy with brisket every night for the next 4 days, which we have done. It's we've done that. Um, we also, ironically, we've been waiting for these for a long time. We received these Wake Up Kick Ass Repeat Planner stickers in the mail. We got them last week, so we just stuck them in today. So they are available on the website if you want to wake up, kick ass, and repeat. They have like all sorts of inspirational things like keep going, love this, be awesome today, all kinds of cool, fun stuff. Be the change, believe in yourself, strive for progress, not perfection, dare to begin, all kinds of good stuff. So those are back. Those were a hit last time. They sold out for a long time, and were out of stock for a very long time. So we got that box in on Friday or Thursday and promptly Lysoled the whole thing just in case, and then let it sit in the basement for a weekend. It's the world we live in, and I'm super paranoid, so I'm going to do what I got to do. Um, but we are, Chef Nick. Yeah, that was a good deal. The one thing we're doing, it's part of this, like trying to have fun with this whole stay at home thing, is we cleaned off our bookshelf because we're planning on moving hopefully in a month, as long as the coronavirus doesn't derail that. We're moving in a month, and we don't want to take any more than we have to. So we have a bookshelf in our living room, and we just cleaned off the entire thing. We left the kids' books that they are going to read through the next couple of weeks or months, whatever. And then we have the, our regular books. They're mostly fiction books. All my nonfiction are back here or in another place. But the fiction books that we just kept, we sorted through the ones we want to donate and the ones that we're going to keep to put on our shelf in the new house. We also went through the recipe books. And so a lot of these things we're going to try to keep and, as like, just to experiment and go through some recipes. So we had the brisket. We're going to use this one for the brisket recipe, but like I have a recipe book from my grandmother, who since passed away recently. And so like her Lebanese recipe book we'll try to make some Lebanese dishes. There's a lot of stuff. We got a cookbook that we received for our wedding. It was like the Newlyweds Cookbook or something. A real nice hardback book, and I don't know that we've used it more than once or twice. So we have that. We have a lot of different things. So we're gonna just try, through this period, try to, just do something new. And I think that's what a lot of people are trying to do now. In this time when we're supposed to be stuck at home, how do we create new experiences while we're here? And I think that it's looking around. Everything from like the things that have been sitting in our basement, like the food that have been sitting in our basement for a couple of months that we never really got to, or maybe some canned foods that, as long as it's not expired and as long as it's something that's safe to eat, trying to do something with it. We did that, a couple of weeks ago. We started picking through some of the things we might have frozen back in January, February, like, that we may have thrown away at another time. Now we're like, okay, let's try it. Let's cook it. Let's warm it up and reheat it and make a dish out of it. So we've been doing that, and it keeps us from going through the food we have, the fresh food we have, and it forces us to make use of what we have. And I think a lot of people are going to be experiencing that, from the things they have around the house, like board games, to like right now, my kids are downstairs. I'm gonna post it in my story on Instagram. They're breaking out all the coloring books and pencils and things. So rather than sit on video games all day, we're going into the crevices of their closet and pulling out coloring books, and they will be coloring. In fact, my son got a coloring book at school. It's a Pittsburgh Penguins stress relieving coloring book. So he is downstairs right now going through his stress relieving coloring book from the Pittsburgh Penguins. Carrie, good morning. Schools are closed, so you get to catch me. Awesome. Well, sort of. I'm glad you're here. Sorry to say that the schools are closed, but ours are too. And judging by the press conference that happened yesterday, schools won't be reopening for this semester. And best case scenario, they're saying that this is over in July or August. We'll see how they handle it. We'll see how it goes. One of the estimates I saw for the peak of this wasn't happening until early June. So it's crazy. I mean, things are gonna be a lot different. And I'm trying to stress to my parents, my dad, like especially, just stay home and maybe don't let my brother and sister do what they want to do, because they're gonna want to go out. Hey Debbie, look at that. I'm gonna post this. I'm an excellent cook and never eat out, so my change is to pick up food from local restaurants weekly to give them a little cash. I like it. We actually probably eat out too much. So we eat out, once or twice a week as it is, and now we're going to be actually saving some money by not doing that. And we'll be, we're staying home. So we're doing we're doing the opposite, and we're not great cooks, but I think we can certainly get better over the next couple of weeks. Um, so what are some of the things that you'll be doing in this period? What's we're going through the closets and pulling out coloring books, and we're pulling out old uh, recipe books off the shelf and cracking those open and trying some new things. What are you going to be doing in this time? Carrie, now that you're going to be home, I think I saw in one of your posts that you're developing curriculum for your students, because I believe you're first grade, right? But what's your big thing that you'll be doing personally while you're home? For me, a lot of it's routine. I'm going to try to get up at the same time every day, albeit probably a little bit later. Like I've been waking up 7 o'clock the past couple of mornings, especially with it being darker outside now in the morning. So I get up at 7, and I'm going to be trying to go about my routine in the right way, as long as there's nothing that's pressing, which I don't think there will be. So it's a matter of waking up, doing my meditation, doing my define my day. The kids have been sleeping a little bit themselves too, so it still gives me that same amount of quiet time before they wake up. Today, our oldest didn't even wake up until 9 o'clock, and then he jumped in the shower right ahead of me. So it threw me off a little bit there. But I think if as long as I still get that 2 hours of quiet time in the morning, I'll still have my time to read, to do what I need to do, and I'll be okay. And then we're off and running. So we're going to still be taking care of business. We're going to be meeting you guys. My goal is to schedule the next morning's video. Like every day, we're going to do this at 10 o'clock. So we develop a set rhythm or routine, and I'll be here for you at 10 o'clock every day. And I'm trying to decide if I'm going to go live on the main Define My Day page also. We'll still do the Thursday 3 o'clock on my page, which will be more broad, not so Define My Day specific. And we're going to do some Define My Day specific stuff on the Define My Day page. And, we'll try to talk to the people out there that may not be in this user group that miss these videos. But even if you miss these videos, they will always be on YouTube, and we'll be uploading them regularly on the Defining Life podcast. So we'll be in a couple of different places. Carrie, puzzles, board games, reading, and yes, definitely figuring out how to do online learning with first graders. That's got to be challenging. And I've seen that a lot of places have actually given up on that already, which is pretty sad. But the way they're looking at it is that I think the teachers already have things going on in their lives. They're stressed out. And then we're asking them to continue to put out almost a disjointed online learning, where one teacher might be doing something different than the other. And the school districts didn't have time to prepare a cohesive online curriculum. So they're sort of just, saying, okay, this year's done, and let's start for the next year and see what happens. Let's prepare for the next year. I can respect that, and if you are figuring out how to do online learning with first graders, good for you. I would love to hear how that continues to go for you. I've seen a lot of things, like the guy from Frozen, the Olaf, the snowman. He every day has been reading a children's book to people live for 10 minutes. There's a cartoonist that I posted on my page yesterday that's drawing cartoons with kids. There's all sorts of people out there that are doing what they can to reach out and help anybody. It's pretty stinking cool. I think we're going to see a lot of things. We're going to see a lot of sad things happening. Everything from hardships for families to small businesses. The airline industry is not going to do well through this. But we're going to see some very good things. We're going to see people reaching out in ways that we did not expect. And early on, you're seeing people reach out through social media and through online platforms where they're doing what they can for everybody else. So there's you'll see all different types of humanity happening over the next couple of months, and I hope we balance it out on the good side. I don't there's always that people talk about that fear, like there's people out there going out and buying guns right now. They're afraid of the Mad Max world that might arise from this, and I'm hoping that that's not the direction that we're going. I hope that we are going in more of a direction of maybe stopping the grab for more stuff and taking time to appreciate our time with the people around us. For us, I think if we're, and this has occurred to me, I just saw an article that the Chinese divorce rate has skyrocketed since they implemented this quarantine at home thing. And I think that that could happen here too. You have people that have been able to get away from each other, whether it's going out to a bar or going to work, and they haven't had to be face to face for a long time. And I've brought that home with us, and I've thought that if daily we keep mindful that the most important thing around us is here in home, the people, the possessions, the mindset, everything in our homes, like in our immediate vicinity, is the most important thing. It's not what we drive, because for the most part we're not driving it anywhere right now. It's not the clothes we're wearing, because well, right now I'm not going out to buy any more clothes. All the things we invest in, even status at work, a lot of that is sort of being shed at the moment, and we have only who we are in our homes. And that idea that we need to be mindful of who we are at home right now sort of defines who we are. That's an important concept, I think, for a lot of people, and we can rise to the occasion or we can fail miserably. And I think if we're mindful of it, we can really make something really good of this, in the face of probably a lot of catastrophe. I don't see your name, but I'm moving my now closed public speaking teaching business online via free videos and paid classes. Good for you. Good for you. And we may need to do that too. Look, if we slow down on the book sales type of thing, we might have to move into an online learning type platform. We have one. We've not really utilized it because we've been focusing on other areas, but that might be something we do, where we offer a couple of little free courses and maybe one larger one. My issue is making sure it provides the right kind of value. And we're going to do our best to try to make sure that happens. Carrie, you also plan to focus extra time on healthy habits like yoga, meditation, reading, etc. Yeah. So my wife had the kids downstairs in the basement yesterday before lunch doing like a 20-minute kids exercise where they like bounced a ball between each other, and it didn't end up as well as we thought it would. The older one got frustrated with the younger one because he didn't think he was doing it right, and that sort of brought to in focus what I believe is going to be the issue with the kids at home also, is that they're going to have to learn how to get along with each other, especially as we limit their electronics time. Now it's almost like summer vacation without the ability to really go out and play with friends. It's, they're stuck at home, and with that limit on time to do things apart from each other, they're going to have to learn how to play with each other. And so it's sort of the same thing that's happening with the adults, right? So we're going to continue to work on that. Carrie says, we're completely off from school this week and next week. The admin is working behind the scenes to figure out what the online alternate format is going to look like. So my district is taking time to plan before implementation. I'll let you know how it goes. Yeah, absolutely. Let me know, because I'd like to see how that compares to what we're doing around here. The Pennsylvania response was a little bit disjointed in the first place. Our local district didn't know what they were going to do and had been working on their own plan. From the stories I've heard, had been working on their own plan through Friday, and then the governor came out Friday afternoon and said, you know what, we're just closing everything. And so nobody had time to prepare. Nobody had time to create work to send home. And it was sort of, but it's a fast moving thing we have going on here. People don't know what's going on. The governors don't know what's going on. The federal government doesn't know what's going on. So, trying to get a handle on it in the midst of people sort of having their own interests in mind, also trying to get a handle on it's been difficult for a lot of people, I'm sure. Bonnie's doing online lecture labs and clinicals at the college level. Good for you. Good for you. And myself, I have a lot of online learning platforms. I've either gone through some of the courses, not all of them. I have a lot of those things also that I'm going to be going through. They're already paid for. I just have to do them. Debbie, it's the perfect time for folks to jump into Define My Day. I'm going to put you on the screen for that. You are absolutely correct. We get to choose now how we start over. I can't agree more. I can't agree more. And so, it's funny because I'm looking at our advertising and our website, and it's funny. Like, I'm trying to figure out what our message is with a lot of people because, of course, we need to continue this business so that we can survive, right? We need to make sure that we're financially stable to get through this and come out on the other end of it okay. So I'm trying to balance the correct message as we talk to people that are not yet in Define My Day, because I think this process is immensely important. I think this is really a really big deal. I think that this process is more important now than ever. But I also don't want to look like some other people that I've seen out there that just look like they're trying to profiteer from it. So, it's I know a lot of businesses now, like grocery stores and cleansing products. They're making a ton of money. They're making money hand over fist right now. And who can begrudge them that? Of course, they have to keep their businesses running. So, I'm trying to be in a place where we are authentic and we show people the importance without trying to come off as something we are not in a negative way. So that's my struggle with all of this. Like, I don't want to be inauthentic through this whole thing. So trying to be conscious of that, and we'll see how that goes. But I do believe that this process is really important right now. And I wonder, though, if it's even harder to do now because, I think the question in a lot of people's minds is going to be, why does it even matter? Like, I'm just going to wake up and I have nothing to do today. I'm going to wake up. I can't go outside. I can't see my friends. I can't go to work. My finances are a mess. Like, whatever somebody's mindset might be, it might make it even harder to go through this process. So, keeping that in mind also as we go forward, it's going to be interesting. We're going to have to try to, support you guys as best we can. And that's my goal. And again, why I'm always asking for feedback. How can we best support you? Carrie. Yep. Oh, no, I can't add you anymore. Why can't I add you, Carrie? I can't add this one comment. Anyway, Carrie says, yes, that is going to be my focus for now. Healthy habits, physically, spiritually, and intellectually. And that's kind of it. Now that we have like nothing else to do, we need to focus on just keeping our discipline. And I think if we do that, we come out on the other side of this in really good shape. Really good shape. Bonnie says, I actually be teaching these in upcoming weeks as we are currently closed. I'll actually be teaching. Man, I'll tell you what, sometimes people write wrong. Other times I just read it wrong. This is a very good case of me just reading it wrong. So I'll be teaching these in upcoming weeks as we are currently closed. Good. I'm glad to hear that. So Bonnie, what are you going to be teaching? What's your topic? So you're doing online lectures, labs, and clinicals at the college level. So what specifically does that address? I'd be interested to hear that. how the rest of my day goes. Like I said, I'll be doing my brisket, and that is going to require a little bit of check in as we go. We're going to try to sit down and have lunch together, as long as my work keeps up. I am working on a resource page. So our page on Define My Day, I'm going to have like a list of different resources for a lot of different things. I'm trying to organize it right now, but like good books to read, maybe different topics of the books, like segmented out that way. Good courses to take. We will have health resources. We have some people that we like that do in-home physical activity. Even something like this guy that doodles for kids. We're going to be linking all of this stuff out and creating this place that our users can go to get the information they need, because there are a lot of these things I'm not an expert about, but I can at least bring it together so that you guys can all see it. Oh, that's funny. So in this software that I have that does these videos, Carrie, that explains why some of these I can't see or I can't post. So Carrie was responding to Debbie's comment about an opportunity to start over. Maybe that's why it wouldn't let me post it on the screen. So that's what happens, I think. When I can't see, I don't know why there's times I can't see somebody's picture or their name. I can only see their comment, like this person right here. I can't see on this end who that is. But other times, I guess it's when somebody responds to somebody else, I can't add it the way I can add here. It just doesn't even give me the option. Very interesting. Figuring things out as we go here. I've been using this software for months, and it's the first time I actually realized that. Oh well. All right. Well, good. So I'm going to head out. I'm going to get on with my day. Here, wait. Before I do that, Mo Willems is great, and the kids love him. Is that the guy that did the doodling? Is that? I think that's who that was, right? So I'll have to. That's some guy that we're going to link up. Mo Willems. We're going to link him up. I've heard the name before. I'm not so up on the kids stuff, aside from the video games. The boys come to me for cool stuff. They come to my wife for educational stuff. We'll be linking up all the resources we can on the website. It might be ugly. I'm trying not to put too much effort into the design of it. We're just going to make it as useful as possible. So we'll put it out there for you. But I'm going to head out and get on with my day. He is the guy that does the doodling, yeah. So I'm going to get out and get on with my day. I hope you guys have a good day yourselves. Keep up with your habits. Keep up with your disciplines. Stay focused on what's most important to you. Stay healthy, please. Keep moving forward, and I will see you in here throughout the day today, but I'll see you live again tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. All right, take care, everybody. Bye.